to the family. My name is Rome with Romy. You can call me Romy. You can call me Romy Rome. I might even tell you my government name. But anyway, welcome. I'm gonna see who's going to join. It is currently 2 o'clock Victoria time. Y'all can see my ring light in the back. Look, this is just the setup that it's gonna be today. Actually, I might turn off the ring light. Let me see what it look like if I turn it off. It's a little dark out here today. Hold on, let's see. Oh, it's too dark. Yeah. Unfortunately, I had to turn the lights off because my husband Dom is sleeping and he's taking a nap. And sometimes that does happen when he takes a nap. He takes a nap while I'm filming. So, yeah, so I just gotta go with the flow until we move into a bigger place. And then that way, like once we move to a bigger place, I'll be able to have my own studio set up. Hi, Imani, how are you? Oh, you can't hear me at all? Hold on, even now? Hold on. Oh, God. 1 second. Let me take this off. Can you hear me now? You should be able to hear me now. I hope so. Let me put my volume up. Can you hear me now? Let me know. Yes or no. I hope you can. That sucks with this. You know what? This thing sucks. Like, okay. You know what? I don't know what's going on. Hold on. Let me try to rethink it right quick. Hold on a second. Hold on. I'm gonna figure this out. 1 second. I'm back now. It might have been me. No, it's okay. I'm gonna check. Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna plug it again and you'll tell me if you can hear it. Okay. So I plugged it again. Can you hear me or nah? Let me know if you can hear me. If you can't hear me, I'm just gonna take it off again. Are you able to hear me? It sounds far away. Okay. No problem. I'm gonna take it off. You should be able to hear me now. I'm gonna just take it off. You know, okay, let me tell y'all. Hopefully you can hear me now. I really hope you can hear me now. Let me know if you can hear me now. If you say yes, then I'm gonna just leave it like this. Yeah, perfect. Hi, little mama. Can you hear me? Are you able to hear me? Let me tell y'all something. This is annoying. I bought these. These are expensive mics, y'all. And I don't know what goes on. Like sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. I don't know if I'm just not doing it properly. So I'm gonna figure it out. But we just gonna have to do without the mic then. It is what it is. I'm just hoping you guys can hear me. I'm happy you guys can hear me. I'll probably have to test these mics out soon. But it's just a crazy, like sometimes they work. Maybe it's me. Maybe I just don't know how to charge them properly. So I have to get to know my tools. And these are new, so I'm gonna get to know them so I can give you guys a better experience. All right, good. I'm happy. Yeah, I'm gonna get used to these. I'm gonna get acquainted because I ain't play around with these for a bit, so it's okay. And welcome guys. Welcome to the chat. I also have a new camera now, y'all. Sis is moving on up. So I done got a new camera for Christmas. I bought this for myself, y'all, because I needed something new with my 9-to-5 money, okay? With my 9-to-5 income. Yes, give it up for the 9-to-5s. We gonna give it up for the 9-to-5s because people be trying to clown 9-to-5s. But hell, my 9-to-5 has been able to take me far. So got myself a little gifty gift for the year. 9-to-5, y'all. This is what 9-to-5 does. And of course, you know, YouTube gives me a little bit. But I'm telling y'all, man, most of the stuff that I have is my 9-to-5. There you go. The steady income. That's what's gotten me here. That's what's gotten me this. That's what got me this. That's what got us the car that we have. That's what got us the new place that we're about to move into. It's the 9-to-5, y'all. It's the 9-to-5. Telling y'all 9-to-5 is where it's at. And don't let people try to make it seem like you need to have you have to quit your 9-to-5 in order to be successful. That is not true at all. I know so many people who make really good money, have really good income, are working 9-to-5, and they have a lot of things. Let's just put it that way. It's just about how you live your life, right? So anyway, how are y'all doing on this beautiful Friday afternoon? Well, evening for y'all, maybe afternoon for me. Before I get into my chat, Unless I fall into $1 million, it will be 9 to 5 for me as my main job. And you know what, little mama? You could even get $1 million if you work your 9 to 5. I'm telling you, it's all about how you save and make sure you don't have a lot of debt. I'm telling you, and make sure you have a job that has a really high salary. High salary positions are where it's at. That's really what it is. Having a job where your salary is high, your low debt to ratio income is low, or debt to ratio, yeah, is low, and you can save money and invest. Honestly, that's the wave right there. That right there is the formula. And even if you get laid off and stuff, like I feel like this, like you just have to make sure that you have emergency funds set aside, so then that way you won't have to spend all of your savings and stuff. Mine laid me off unexpectedly. I was there for 5 years, but I'm trying to regroup. Imani, I wish you the best, and I know you're going to find something soon. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, even if you get laid off, and you know what, sis? Don't let it deter you from going after different positions and just putting your best foot forward. I think that's one of the things in life that is so unpredictable. So yes, there are times where you can't control what happens in the job market. Sometimes they'll lay you off, sometimes they won't. But guess what? Some people think that Yep, God's moved me. I was stressed. There you go. Sometimes that's what it is. And you know what? God always has provisions for people. I'm an example of that. Trust me and believe me. Whenever I felt like I was in a tough situation, God always had my back. Those skills and experiences are valuable to employers, so you will definitely stand out in your job search. Amen. Yep, you will. You will. You will. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you just got to have money set aside for that. But sometimes it's a blessing in disguise, and it's to get you to move to somewhere else. So I remember I've told this story countless times when I literally got sick and I had to leave a job unexpectedly. I didn't expect to leave that job. But guess what? It was the biggest blessing that I ever got, because through that experience, I was able to go back to school. I was able to do so many different things and make different moves. And I believe that when God pushes you out somewhere, or, you know, from somewhere, there's somewhere greater that he has in store for you. You just got to trust his judgment and know that he has what's in store for you is coming. It's for you. It's coming. Even with the economy, even with different things going on, I'm telling you, there's opportunities everywhere. You just got to be able to move when it's time to move. That's what it is. So I wish you the best, sis. And I know you're going to find something in 2025. Amen. 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 In Jesus' name. And we're going to pray for you. I'm going to pray for you so you can find something. I'm claiming it for you too, sis. I'm claiming it for you too. Claiming it for you too. And again, once you get to that, you know what, let me tell y'all, I was talking to my friend the other day, today. I was just talking to my friend earlier, and it's so crazy because we met in Korea, and I met her when I moved to Korea, and we still keep in contact with each other. She is American, and she lived in Korea for like 15 years, almost 15 years. Yep, she was living in Korea for like 15 years. And there was a situation that had happened where she got pushed out of her job. She got let go. See, Imani, same thing. She got let go. And she was working there for she was at that university. She was working at a university in Jeonju for almost, I think 5, 6 years, 7 years, around that time. She was there for a minute. And they let her go. And she had a legal situation with them. But after that, you know, it was just hard for her to keep a job in Korea. And so last year, unexpectedly, she had to move back to America. And now, by the grace of God, it was so crazy because at the time she was questioning God, like, oh my God, like, I'm not ready to leave. I don't know why I'm being pushed out. I don't know why nothing is working out for me. Lo and behold, now she's doing her thing in America. She found a really good job. She found a really good apartment. She's able to start over. And then her mom is sick. So what happened was that her mom is sick. Her mom has cancer. And her sister was taking care of her mom. But come to find out, hi Tyra, welcome to the chat. Come to find out, her sister ended up moving to Europe with her family. So her mom would have been by herself had she not moved to the US, back to the US to take care of her. And so it was crazy how now we could see in hindsight that's what God was wanting for her to be in that state, for her to take care of her mom, because they didn't know that the sister was going to move to Europe. She got last minute orders because her sister has the type of job where she got to go, right? When you got to go, you got to go. Her sister got the job offer to go to Europe, and she had to pack up her family and leave quickly. And had my friend not moved back to the States, mind you, her mom has cancer, so she wouldn't have been able to have someone be there for her, right? So well, actually one of her children, I would say. So sometimes you can think that you're being pushed out, and like you said, you were stressed at your job. God hears your cries, and he's like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna have to shake things up, and maybe you can't see it right now, but you will see it soon. Trust and believe me. And I'm telling you, hindsight is 2020. When you look back and you're like, dang, if I didn't make that decision, or if that didn't happen, I wouldn't be here. So you got to trust it. My mom is recovering from being sick, so I'm able to take care of her more, which is a blessing. The 9 to 5 made it so hard for me. There you go. There you go. There you go. And I didn't even know your mom was sick. So thank you so much for sharing that, actually, Imani. I know that's such a tough situation to be in. And it's like sometimes when God takes something away from you and you're not sure why, even if because it's scary, right? Because you're scared, because it's something that you've been working there for 5 years. There's a routine to it, right? And so you were so used to working there. But at the end of the day, God knows what's best. And trust me, that time that you're spending with your mom is going to be so much more valuable. I'm telling you, you're going to look back and thank God that you had that time with your mom. I promise that. I hope your mama gets to, hold on. You wrote, sorry for a second. Hold on, the chat disappeared. Hold on a second, y'all. I'm getting the chat up. I hope your mama gets to feeling better soon. Amen, little mama. We gonna pray for Imani and her mama. I'm just gonna pray for her and make sure that I'll pray for all of y'all too and make sure y'all are good. Hi Didi. That's my cousin Evodzi, y'all. She was with me in Montreal when I was going through it. But she was one of the cousins I was telling y'all that I still keep in contact with. But yeah, so hi Evo, I hope everything is good with you. J'espère que tout va bien à Montréal. So yeah, I hope your mom feels better, Imani. All the parents, good health. Amen. All the parents, good health. All the parents. Even though, I be talking about my parents get on my last nerve. The last one I have, whatever nerve it is, they get on it. But guess what? They're still my parents and I still love them. So we still got to take care of our parents. Thank you. They were accommodative in the beginning, and then the HR team girl, they be changing. The HR team switches up, especially when people are sick. I remember I heard a story about this woman. Her husband was sick. I think he had cancer as well. He had cancer. And he was sick. And then she took time off of work to take care of her husband. But again, they was accommodating in the beginning, but once he died, after he passed away, they try to force her to go back to work, talking about she take too much time off. I'm telling you, some of these companies do not care. So all it is for me personally, I vouch for a 9 to 5, but the right one. Make sure that these people care, and if they don't, you can always find something else. I'm telling y'all, I know it seems impossible because everybody's always looking at the job market, looking at all these things. And I understand it feels very tough, especially when you're going through that situation and financially it's like you feel like you can't catch a break. But never feel like you are a slave to somewhere. Never feel that way. I'm telling y'all, because it's mostly it's mostly fears that get to you. But at the end of the day, it's going to be better for your mental health to leave that space. If they won't accommodate you to take care of a sick family member, take care of a sick child, or take care of yourself when you're sick, why would you want to work for a place like that? I'm happy, actually, that, well, not happy about your situation, but I'm happy that God made a way for you to be able to be with your mom. And that's what matters most, because all they thinking about is that dollar. They just thinking about the money, but they're not thinking about you. Oui, par la grâce de Dieu, joyeuse fête et prenez soin de vous. Oh, thank you. You too, Ava. She just said she's doing well. And happy holidays, just in case y'all don't understand French. So, yeah. So, Before I get into today's topic, I wanted to randomly chat with you. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know why people call my chat. Call me when I'm on live. Like, I need to put a do not disturb. My bad, y'all. Yes, Romy speaking. I be trying, y'all. My French is rusty, just like my Korean. That is true, and I'm happy God has been providing. Amen. Amen. Sorry, y'all. Yes, I don't know. Like every time I go live, somebody calls me. I'm gonna have to do the DND. But anywho, so today is the day 26 of LiveMas. Tomorrow's the last day. And I'm going to announce the special announcement I have to make for tomorrow. But just know I got y'all. So this ain't the end. This is just the beginning. Also, I wanted to get y'all opinion about something before I talk about my experiences. Have you guys eaten raw oysters before? Has anyone here ever eaten a raw oyster? Y'all let me know, because okay, I want to see if I'm exaggerating here. This is a little, no, I haven't. Okay, this is the thing. So Dom and I were supposed to go to Comox, which is another city, and we were supposed to eat some raw oysters, or oysters. And then I got to investigating. I'm the type of person, you said, oui, et c'est affreux. Is it good? Okay, so my cousin has eaten raw oysters. So I've tried, I think I've tried it once. I don't remember though. But, oh, you haven't? Okay. Okay, that's what I was going to say. Because, okay, so in Asian culture, they eat a lot of raw oysters. And a lot of communities, even here in BC, there's a lot of raw oyster bars and stuff like that. I don't know, like, at first I wanted to do it because I was like, oh, we're going to eat oysters. Oh, you did it and it's awful? Because you got to suck it. Like, you got to chew it and then you can't swallow it. You just, like, you have to ingest it. But anywho, I'm thinking we're going to get cooked oysters, right? Because I didn't know it was supposed to be raw. So then once I got to researching, I found out that there's actually a bacteria. I forgot what it's called. It starts with a V. Oh my gosh. Let me go look for it. Let me put oyster bacteria. There's a bacteria that is linked to oysters. And it can cause, it's called Vibrio. And if an oyster is not cooked properly, it can actually cause you paralysis and then you can die from it. Now, this is the thing, even though the percentage is very low that you'll die from that, you can still get food poisoning. So when I found that out, I started freaking out. And so Dom was like, you're not adventurous. Like, what? Like, you're scared of everything. You're scared of cougars. You're scared of bears. You're scared of all these things. But I'm starting to feel like, okay, like, is it me not being adventurous or is it me just being safe? You see, because adventurous people, they gon' make it seem like you scary, but you're not scared. It's mostly just you just being aware of things, right? DD says, I know something else who, you know someone else who did and she got food poisoning. You see? I got food poisoning. Remember, 2 weeks ago I got food poisoning in Jamaica, and that's because I ate some mussels. They were undercooked. So you can get that bacteria from eating undercooked seafood and also from eating oysters. Little Mama says, yeah, I don't play with raw food unless it's fresh, and that's rare that I eat it's raw. I think you're being safe. Thank you, guys. Okay, because, yo, when we were in Korea, we would eat sashimi raw. We would eat raw sashimi. You said you think you ate raw jellyfish or something. Yeah, because Asian culture, they're very big on eating raw food. Especially raw seafood, raw crabs, raw meat, sashimi, which I ate. But then it depends on where you're going, right? Because most of those foods were made by Dom's mom. So I trusted her and trusted that she, you know, she's very clean, right? But then what if you go somewhere and they're not that clean? So I was a little concerned. But Dom called me basically a scaredy cat. So I just want to know if I was being scary or if this is, you know, it's something that I should be aware of. Like, I don't know. I used to be very adventurous when I was younger and just eat anything. But nowadays, you couldn't pay me to just eat anything and put anything in my mouth. Because my body is a temple. And, you know, I'm trying to live a longer life. So, yeah. Okay. All right. I knew I wasn't tripping. Especially, I think because I had food poisoning a few weeks ago. So, I'm still a little scared. Because I'm like, So, yeah, we'll see if we end up going to the oyster place. I don't think we're going to end up going, but we'll see. And if we do, I'll end up getting cooked oyster. I don't mind doing cooked. but raw is a bit too adventurous for me. I can't eat it. In Korea, they even eat raw octopus. It's called nakji. So like what they would do is they would eat it super raw. It was so I don't know. You see people, you watch YouTube videos, you'll see people eating it, and then all this food talk making me hungry. Oh wait, don't be hungry, little mama, don't be hungry. I just want to get y'all opinions. So I'm gonna get into my story though, because it's already 3 o'clock, and y'all remember I gotta meet up with my therapist at 4:25. So I'm gonna have to hurry up my live today to meet with my therapist and see how our first session goes. So I am really excited about it, and yeah, but I'm about to meet her soon. All right, let's get into traveling, solo traveling, my experience. All right, so y'all know that I lived in Korea for a few years. Hi Carla, how are you? Welcome, 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 and happy Friday. So yeah, y'all know that I went solo traveling. Oh no, sorry, I lived abroad for 6 years. But I never talked about the year before I ended up moving to Korea. So I moved to Korea in 2017. However, in 2016, I did end up going to Korea for school for 1 month on a, like, I guess it was a study abroad program. And then I stayed in China for 3 weeks after that. So I will tell you guys about that experience. I never shared about that experience on my channel. So I think it'd be something interesting for you guys to kind of hear a different story of, you know, how I got to Korea and what made me decide to move to Korea permanently. So in 2016, I was 30 years old, and I was in my second to last year of university. And when I went to Korea, it was June 2016, and I went to China July 2016. So it was within those 2 months. Now, I'm going to give y'all a quick testimony. So for some of you guys who maybe don't see financially how you're going to go to Korea, or how you're going to go to Asia, or how you're going to go whichever country you decide to go to, I'm going to give you guys a bit of a testimony. So initially, remember, I had quit my full-time job to go back to school. And I was living off of financial aid, and then I did a work-study program. But that was only enough for me to pay for school, for my tuition, and to pay my bills. So when the opportunity came to go to China, they were doing a study abroad program for 1 month in, I forgot which city in China, but they had a program, and so I applied. And they had a deposit. It was super cheap. It was like $40 deposit, so I could afford it. So I did. And what happened was that the program, I don't remember the price, but it was like almost $2,000. Oh, hi, the Dev Studio. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So yeah, it was like about, don't quote me, I don't remember the price, but it was like at least $2,000 total for your room, board, and then where you're gonna stay. I think it probably around that price point. And I remembered that I wasn't sure how I was going to pay for that program, but I still applied anyways because I thought I had time to save up some money. You said you're cleaning. Child, you always be doing something. You always gaming, cleaning. I love it. So, yeah, so, and I love the fact that you guys do different activities while listening to me. I might need to do a podcast so I can hear my ASMR voice or something. Let me stop. But anyway, yeah, so I didn't know how I was gonna pay for it, but I still decided to go out on faith and to do it. So I signed up, and every time I tried to get an update for this program, they were just, no, it wasn't 2,000. I think it was cheaper than that. But anyway, the price doesn't matter. The point is I ain't had the money. So every time I went up to try to figure out how to get into this program, or what was going on with the program, they kept giving me the runaround. Like, oh, we don't know. They're trying to get the students together. We don't know if this program is going to happen. Whatever, yada, yada, yada. So I always went to the International Studies Department to go ask. That lady, I think she got tired of me. I went there at least once a week. I was like, ma'am, what's going on? She said she didn't know. And at that time, I was taking Mandarin the first year. So I took Chinese classes. I sure did. I was in my first year of Mandarin. So I was very serious about going to China. Like, I was like, you know what? I really want to go to another country. I've always been interested in Asian history and culture. So I was like, okay, China is it. They have the Chinese government scholarship. Sweet. I'll apply to that. I'll do the study abroad for the summer, go to China, see what it is, and then apply for that program. So I already had the plans in my mind. So then every time I went there, she was like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know. So then what ended up happening was that I said, okay, you know what? Like, I don't know what it is, God, but I'm just going to have to let it go. So I did. Now, the next time I went to the office, I asked her again. I didn't let her go for real, for real. I still went back and I was like, hey, what's going on with the program? She's like, look, we don't know what's really going on. We're trying to figure this out. And then she called somebody in the back. And then when she called someone in the back, they came to the front to talk to me. And they're like, look, we don't know what's going on with China, but I think Korea would be better for you. And I was like, Korea? I was like, I don't have plans on going to Korea, so I don't know what y'all talking about. And she was like, look, like if you go to Korea, we can actually get you a scholarship and you don't have to pay out of pocket. I said, wait, what? She was like, yeah, we can get you a scholarship. It comes with a global, I think it was the global student funding of like $1,000. And then you can also get financial aid for it, which I couldn't get for the China program. So then I was like, oh, okay, this sounds interesting. So I was like, tell me more. So then she started telling me all the benefits, like, okay, you'll do like a residency here. So you guys just have to attend classes here for like 3 weeks. And then you're going to do 1 month in Seoul. And then the professor, he's really nice. He's a political science. No, he was doing, what's his major? I think he was in social. I don't remember his major. I could look him up right now. I'll tell y'all after. But anyway, he was like, I think he was doing some welfare program or something like that. And then they were like, he's really nice and you could use it towards credits towards your political science degree. So I said, okay, all right, I'm gonna think about it. But she was like, okay, there's an $800 deposit. So you see the stark difference. The China one was like $40 deposit. Korea was $800 deposit. And I didn't have the money. So I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. She's like, look, if you pay the deposit up front, find a way to find the money, and then we'll fund the rest of it for you. And I said, okay, all right. So y'all, I had no money. Nothing. I had no money to my name, no money to my bank account. So then what happened was I just let the time go, and then I was noticing I tried to save as much as I could, but there was no way I was gonna make that $800 at that time. Mind you, I didn't have the money, the extra money. I just had enough money for my bills and my tuition. How about the day before the deadline, my sister sent me money. She's like, hey, you remember last year you had given me your income tax return money? She's like, I'm paying it back right now. I didn't even tell her I was going to Korea. I didn't tell nobody. And the day before the deadline, she sent me exactly $800. No joke, y'all. I'm not even lying. If I lie, I fly. She sent me the money. And I was like, oh my God. Like, mind you, I didn't tell my sister I was thinking about going to Korea. Nobody knew I was thinking about going to Korea because they thought I was going to China, 1. And 2, I kept it to myself because I didn't think I was going to make the deposit. Girl, God, when I tell you, but God, like I didn't even think I was going to make the deposit. So I didn't even ask because, you know, I knew my sister. I didn't know she had money. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm not asking nobody. You know when somebody owes you money, but you don't want to keep asking them? This is my sister, right? So we always do that for each other. We spot each other. And so I was just like, I just put it in my head like, I ain't going to make the trip. So whatever, I'll still stick to China. She gave me the money. Y'all, when I tell y'all, I ran, Carla, amen. Amen, y'all. I'm telling y'all. When I tell you, I ran to that office as soon as I got the money. The next day, I was like, am I still on time? Did I miss the deadline? She's like, no, you're good. So I was able to pay the deposit. And then after that, that was the first step. And the second step, I had to apply for financial aid. Got my financial aid like this. And they even gave me more money on top of that. They gave me a stipend. And I had the $1,000 scholarship. God worked it out just in the nick of time. Amen. When I tell y'all, because that's when I knew I had to go to Korea. Because I'm telling y'all, I did not know I was going to go to Korea. It was not in my plans, 1. 2, it was just something, I'm telling you, the financial aid officer just came and just told me about it. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I should go. Maybe I should switch my plans. Once my sister gave me the money, it was confirmation. I was like, okay, I'm going to go. I'm going to Korea. So what I ended up doing was that I was like, okay, I still want to go to China. This is how crazy your girl is. So mind you, God did all this miracle. Thank you, Lord. I was like, thank you, Lord. I get to go to Korea, but I still want to go to China. So for me, Korea was just like, oh, I'm just going to go for a summer, just spend some time. But China's still in my mind. I'm like, China is it. That's what it is. I want to go there. I don't know why. I always had this like wanting to go to China for some reason. I don't know why it was in my brain. But I was like, all right, since I can't go to China directly, I'm going to go to Korea. And flights from Korea to China are dirt cheap. So then what I ended up doing was that I decided that after my study abroad program, I think the program ended June 23rd. And then I went to China from June 23rd until July something. I don't remember the dates, but I booked my trip to China. So then I got my visa, went to the Chinese consulate, did all that, y'all, did all that. And then I was booked. All right, 2016 summer was lit because your girl was going to Asia for the first time. So now, my experience in Korea, you were truly blessed. When I tell you the milk and honey, you know, in the Bible when it says milk and honey was the land of milk and honey, at that time, it was like, I think because I was following the steps that God had ordered for me, it was so easy for doors to open because it was my path. I wasn't trying to go down someone else's path. It was the first time that I was going down my path. And it was the first time that I wanted, like, it was something that I truly wanted to do. And I wanted to move abroad for years, y'all. It wasn't the first time that this has ever happened. It was just, I never, like, you know, things happened, life happened, and then I just kind of, deviated from that. But then once the opportunity came up again, it was up and stuck. So then I was in the right environment to actually get that, and I think once I was placed in the right environment that God needed me in, it was easy for him to make things shake, right? So then imagine if I had to do that when I was working. How much time off would I have needed? How much PTO would I have needed, right? So yeah, so what ended up happening? Oh, you want to go too? You're going to get to go. I'm telling you, when it's your time, man. So then I ended up going to Korea first. Okay, so first time in Korea. I was on a trip. Remember, I was a study abroad, so I went with classmates that were way younger than me. I remember I told you I had a friend that visited me in November, like end of November. She was one of those classmates, the one that I told you guys that when I was 30, she was in her early 20s, and now she's 30 and I'm in 38. And I was giving her advice. She was one of the people that I went with. So I went with a group of students. I'm gonna show y'all pictures too, by the way. I'm not just chatting. I'm gonna show y'all pictures. And it was the most amazing experience. So first we got there, we got to Seoul. I stayed at Ever 8 Hotel in Sinchon. So when we arrived from the airport, I remember vividly, it was so hot. And I was like, yo, I'm in Korea. This is crazy. This is crazy. I remember when we landed, it was hot, but it was, no, I lied. It was May. We went end of May. So it wasn't too hot. It was just getting hot. It was like almost end of spring, early summer. And it was nice. It was beautiful weather. I remember I had to wear a little jacket at night because it got a little chilly. But all in all, it was like I landed and I was like, dang, I'm in Korea, yo. That was crazy. So one thing is I didn't know. Remember, I took Chinese at that time, so I didn't even know how to say hi in Korean. I had to learn on the airplane. One of my classmates took a flight, like we were on the same flight just by accident. And then he started talking and he was like, oh, do you even know how to say hi in Korean? And I was like, huh? I was like, wait, what? And then he was like, you went end of May? Yeah, I think a lot of study abroad programs go at the end of May because it's beautiful. And usually flights are a little cheaper towards the end of May because it's almost a Changma season, which is monsoon season in the summer. Usually around May, June, July, those times the flights are a little bit cheaper to go to Korea. So yeah, so he was like, you say 안녕하세요, and then he was teaching me on the plane, and I was like, 안녕하세요, 안녕하세요, 안녕하세요. So I didn't take Korean classes until I came back from Korea. That's when I decided to register for Korean classes a year after. But at that time, I didn't know no Korean, y'all. I didn't know how to say hi. I didn't know how to say bye. I didn't know how to say thank you. I didn't know nothing. So anyways, we get to Ever 8 Hotel. It was a very nice hotel. And I had my own room because I was the oldest. So my professor was so sweet. I roomed by myself and everyone else had roommates. And then for the boys, one boy was able to sleep by himself on his own, and then all the rest of the boys had to share with each other. Okay, honey. Yeah, all the rest of the boys had to share with each other. So, y'all, when I tell y'all, this is the thing. When you're an older student, that's one thing I will say that's a problem, is when you're an older student and you're traveling with younger students. Okay. Them kids had me going out. Mind you, I was 30, y'all. I had just turned 30 in February. These kids from day one, okay, the first night we went to a restaurant with our professor because it was the introduction of the course. He's like, oh my God, you guys all made it to Korea. Welcome to Korea, blah, blah, blah. No problem. And he was a professor at Yonsei. So what he would do is he would do half, because his wife is Korean. and he's Canadian. So at that time they lived in Seoul. So what he did was he taught at Yonsei, and then he also taught at my university, at York University. He would have students go back and forth. So then he kind of gave us the rundown. We had dinner. I got to get to know my classmates a little bit more, whatever. But we had already we already linked up when we did our residency courses at the university. So by the time we got to Korea, we was already cool. I was the older sister they never had. That's been my moniker for years. So then after that night, they're like, we gotta go clubbing. I was like, oh. At first I was resistant, y'all. I was like, no, we're not going clubbing. I'm too old. They're like, no, Romy, you gotta come with us. We would feel uncomfortable if you're not here. So I was like, all right, cool. So the next night, let me stop. The next day we went to school, and then the next night we ended up going clubbing, y'all. All right, let's start with the clubs first. MB2, I know y'all heard of this. Remember, we were in Sinchon, in the heart of the Yonsei University area. So the first club we hit up was MB2. I think there's MB1, MB2. One of them tried to charge us. And I was like, no, how come you ain't charging the other girls? And they were like, oh, because you're not Korean. So we said, okay. I said, well, we're not going to pay, and we're going to go to another club. So at that time, I was boss. You had a good group. The group I was with was very cliquey. No, my group was cool, man. They were, okay, so one girl was from Hungary. Another girl, they were all Canadians, but they were from different cultural backgrounds. And most of them, three of them were Korean Canadians. And then one was Indo-Canadian. So she was Indian Canadian. And then the other one was from Hungary. She was Hungarian Canadian. And then there was me. Now, one of the Korean Canadian girls, she was ghost. I'm going to tell y'all about her. But one of them, she ain't really hang out with us. She had her own friends. She ended up doing whatever she wanted to do. And the rest of us, we kind of hung out together because we had never been to Korea before. Many of us had never been to Korea before. And then the one who ended up kind of like separating herself from us, she's Korean. So she was born in Korea, and then she ended up moving to Canada when she was young. So she still had friends and family in Korea. And then one of the boys, he was also from Korea. So they used it as an excuse to go to Korea for the summer. But they wasn't really in school like that. They just used the class as an excuse to party and to get a cheap trip to Korea. Because I don't know, I guess we're when you go on a study abroad, it's a little cheaper than going on. I don't know what they was doing, child. But anyways, they wasn't there. Let's just put it that way. So anyways, we ended up going to MB1, MB2. This is when I learned, because remember, it's my first time abroad, my first time in another country. This is where I learned about Black culture, especially Black American culture being really influential in Korea. Everywhere we went, the music was hip hop. Period. Only one club we went to, the music was kind of like alternative, maybe like house music. All the rest of the clubs, you just gonna hear hip hop the whole time. So we ended up going to MB1, MB2 first. I don't remember which one tried to try us to make us pay. And I was like, no, I'm not paying. Please get out of here. So then we ended up going to MB2, whichever one. One of them didn't pay. One of them you had to pay. One of them you didn't have to pay. Can I ask what school you did your classes through? Absolutely. I went to York University. Are you talking about in Toronto? In Toronto, it was York University in Toronto. And then when we did our Korean classes, the summer abroad, we went to Yonsei University. So we did it through York and Yonsei. And then we even had an exchange with Kyungki. I'm going to get to that part. Kyungki University and Yonsei. We kind of did two, okay, I'm going to get to that part. So anywho, we went clubbing the first night. Y'all, they was all over your girl. I couldn't catch a break. There was too many men, too much guys, it was just too many people. I was just like, no. They still have the program, by the way. If you, I don't know if Thomas Klassen was my professor at York University. He's the one who does the summer exchange program between York and Yonsei. So he might still do it. I know as of last year, he still did it. So you'd have to hit that up if you're in Canada. So anyway, they was all over your girl, child. And I was just like, no, this is too much. And the guys were, they were, you see, this is the thing. When you're 30 years old, at that time, it was like I was still old. I felt like I was old, but actually I wasn't. Now that I'm 38, I really realized how young I was. But at the time, you just feel like you're old because, again, societal expectations, it's like you're 30 years old, you're not supposed to be out doing this and that, right? But hell, I fit right in. So anyways, we went clubbing, we had a great time. I was able to just be stress free, and I felt like I was one of the girls, and it meant a lot to me because they were like, "Well, you're still young, da 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 da." But anywho, yeah, I was dancing. I ain't gonna lie, I was dancing, whatever. But I still was aware that I was older, so I was just trying to like kind of mitigate and be like, okay, you want to have too much fun. I still gotta watch the girls, so I didn't drink. Some of the girls got drunk. That was on them. But me personally, I was just kind of more of like, okay, I have to set a good example for them, right? Because I didn't want to be the one kind of, doing things. I'm supposed to be the oldest one. So I always had that in mind. So anywho, we went to MB2 the second night. And then, we went clubbing every night. I can't even keep up. Like, we went to this, I think there's a club called Mad Hatters. And then there was another one that we went to all the time. I forgot what it's called. I'll probably try to see if I could find it. There was one, it like literally led to the basement. That was a vibe. It was nice. They played some really good music. What else? Y'all, one time I did get lit though. The one time I did get a little drunk and I was like, I'm never getting drunk again. Somebody took a video of me twerking. I don't know where I was. I was somewhere and the whole crowd of people like, hey, hey, hey. And then I don't know whatever that was. It wasn't even twerking. It was just me trying to do whatever I was doing. I don't know how to twerk, y'all. But it was just a vibe. And, it was nice. What else did we do? We had classes. Okay, that's where I learned about the whole social system in Korea, about the elderly, how they actually, elderly people, they don't get, like, they have to retire. So people in Korea usually retire at 50 years old. That's when I learned that about the social, how can I say it? I don't know why the word is escaping me, but y'all know what I'm talking about when you talk about social issues in Korea. And we were just like, all the Yonsei students were kind of giving us the rundown about how Korea really is. Because for us, they were like, you guys are foreigners. So for you, when you come here, it's fun. But for us, it's a lot of pressure. And they were just talking about societal expectations of elderly people. And I learned a lot. I'm not going to lie. Like, I met a lot of classmates there. They're very serious, very nice, but very serious, studious. It's at Yonsei University. So yeah, so we ended up going there, doing our courses there. And then we got introduced to students from Kyunghee University. So then our professor and another Canadian professor at Kyunghee University kind of mingled both classes together. So then I met more students at Kyunghee University. And one student in particular, me and him was real tight. Like, we were really good friends. I ain't gonna lie, he was a little cute too. But he was younger. He was older than the other students. So he did his military service. He was like, if I was 30, he was 4 years younger than me. So he was 26. So 27 Korean age. So 26. And he was very, very nice. And I think me and him, we actually ended up staying friends for a long time. Even when I moved back to Korea, we were still friends. We would still meet up with each other. And he even invited me to his wedding and everything. So it was cool. Yeah, he was real cool. And me and him, we kind of bonded because we were the oldest ones. So then we took everyone out to karaoke. We had a really great time. That's cool. Yeah, he's really cool. Yeah. I'm telling you, I met, and then we went to Thursday Party. It's a bar. And okay, I'm going to tell y'all stories. So this is a little story time. What time is it? Okay, I still have a little bit of time. So there was a story time. So we went to Thursday Party. If y'all don't know, Thursday Party is like one of the bars in Korea. They have like live music, but a lot of people just go there and hang out and vibe out. So we ended up going to Thursday Party because we were tired of going to clubs all the time. So they're like, okay, let's hit up Thursday Party. There's Thursday parties, and then right down the street is Mike's Cabin. Usually some people go to Mike's Cabin. I prefer Thursday Party, personally speaking, because it was more of like a chiller vibe. Mike's Cabin is in a basement, and I couldn't feel it. I don't like being in basements. I don't know, I'm kind of a person where I need to see all exits at all times. And if I feel like there's no exit, and I don't know, I get claustrophobic. So for me, Mike's Cabin wasn't in. I remember we went in there and I was like, no, we can't go there. So I was like, no. So we ended up going to a Thursday Party. And from there, I had met we went once and I met these comedians. these Korean comedians. And at the time, it was so funny because we were sitting at the table first, and then the comedians came and they were like, "Oh, can we sit here?" And we're like, "Yeah, you can sit here, whatever, it's a free country, whatever, you can sit here." And so at first we thought they was just gonna, sometimes you share a table and then you don't really talk to each other. And also we're foreigners, right? So we didn't think nothing of it. Then one of them was like, "Y'all look like the United Nations." And I was like, "What?" Because we did, though, I ain't gonna lie. We did look like the United Nations. All of us just posted up like that. And then he started talking to us, and the one who could speak English a little bit, he was a little talkative with your girl. I ain't gonna lie. He was a little cute. And so one of them wanted to talk to one of the other girls, and then one of the comedians was trying to talk to me. So then I was like, okay, and mind y'all, I had my natural hair. I didn't have no wigs, no weaves, no extensions. I was just purely natural. And he was, talking to me. He's like, "Oh, like, do you know who I am? Da 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 da." I was like, "I don't know who you are." Like, he's like, "Oh, do you know what I do?" Like, he asked me, "What do you think I do for a living?" or something like that. And I was like, "I don't know, you a banker? What do you want me to say?" And he was like, "No, I'm a comedian." And at first, I thought he was joking. No, seriously, I really thought he was joking, like he's not a comedian. I was like, "Yeah, okay." He's like, "Yeah, I'm seriously, I'm ha ha ha." And I was like, "Ha ha ha." And then he was like, "No, I'm really a comedian." And then I was like, "Oh, you guys are comedians?" Y'all, come to find out, they were actually popular Korean comedians. And I wish I could find the Instagram. Because mind y'all, it was 2016. I'm going to see if I can find it. Okay, Romy, putting it on. Let me tell y'all, I wasn't expecting anything because, again, I thought I wasn't the beauty standard. That's what people told. That's what I'm saying. Don't listen to what people say because I really thought I wasn't the beauty standard. One. Two, I was just in my natural glory. And I was older, so I thought they was gonna sit here chatting with the other girls. But one of them did talk to one of the girls, and then the other one talked to me. And so he was like, "Oh, like, I'm da da da." So he showed me his Instagram. Let me see if I still follow him on Instagram. Y'all follow a lot of people, but I'm gonna see if I could find him and I could bring it to you guys. I don't know if mind you, this was from 2016, so I doubt that I still follow him. I forgot the boy's name. But anyways, they were popular Korean comedians. And my friend took a picture. I tried to see if I could find the picture. I couldn't find it, but I didn't end up meeting them. Y'all know I be telling the truth in my story time, so I'm telling you, I met them. And they were really cool. They were very nice. And they took a picture with us. They started dancing with us. One of them was trying to, like, he had glasses or whatever. They were really cool. And at that time, I think that for me, it was such a great experience because I really got to see like what it really was like to be like for my own experience, what it was like to travel to an Asian country, but also the fact that I got showed mad love, like no joke. I got showed a lot of love. And I think that love kind of fooled me a little bit because once you travel there, you're gonna have a great time. But living there is another experience. So we'll touch up on that in another video. But anyways, they showed us mad love. It was real cool. And then he had gave me his Instagram. And then I followed him. He followed me. And then that was it. And then they ended up leaving. And then we went on our way. So that was the first experience. Yes, these YouTubers that constantly talk about beauty standards, don't listen to them. I'm telling y'all, don't listen to them. Listen with a grain of salt. Oh, wow, that is so cool. There's a comedian, Ha Dong-hoon. Is it him? Oh, let me check. Okay, you know what? That's my homework for tonight. I'm going to go through my Instagram and see if I could find him, y'all. If I could find him, because we did follow each other on Instagram. But yeah, it was really fun. And it was a really great experience. And then I met another guy, but this guy, he really wanted to chat with my friend. He was trying so hard to chat with my friend, with one of the girls in the class. And that was another night. So another night we went to Thursday party again, and then we met these other guys, and there was a group of men. And then me and him, actually, we ended up being friends for a long time too. That's what I'm saying. Like, you just end up connecting with people. So at first he was trying to hook up with her, and then she wasn't giving him no play. But me and him, we actually was on a real friendship vibe because he's like, "Look, like I really like, I want to learn English." So I was like, "Okay, cool, whatever." And then he followed all of us. And then we ended up just talking, like, from time to time. I think he's still my Facebook friend, actually, but we don't really talk like that no more because, time goes on and stuff. But anyways, you're going to meet some interesting people if you do end up going to Korea like I did. So I met a lot of interesting people. And what else happened while I was there? Hold on, I'm going to show y'all pictures now. I think I've been chatting for a minute. And then while I was there, one of the girls got really sick. So I had to be, I had to help her out. So what happened was that she got super sick. And her roommate literally left her. Like, left her in the dirt, y'all. Like, that roommate that I told y'all that had friends in Korea and she ain't really hang out with us, that was her roommate. And the girl was so sick. And, this is the thing. I realized that, because mind you, they were younger than me. They were, like, in their early 20s. And a lot of them needed a lot of support. A lot of support. She wasn't the only one. When she was sick, like, I was the only one who went up to go check up on her. Like, all the other girls ended up just doing whatever they wanted to. And so I actually stayed behind, and I gave her Tylenol. I even went to the pharmacy for her. Yo, that that was an experience. There was a pharmacy at the hotel at the bottom. Like, there's a pharmacy, and then the top, there are the rooms or whatever. There were stores at the bottom. And y'all, I went to the pharmacy. That man, bless his heart. Till this day, I wish I could go back and be like, I can speak Korean now. But I went to go because I was so worried about her. Like, she was sick as heck. And we were actually thinking we were going to have to take her to the doctors because she was just coughing. And it was just really bad. She had a fever. And anyways, I stayed behind. And then I went to the pharmacy to go get her some drugs. Mind y'all, I didn't speak a lick of Korean. I don't even know how to say annyeonghaseyo because one of the boys taught me I told y'all on the airplane. One of my classmates was like, oh, you gotta learn how to speak Korean. And he taught me how to say hi. But anyways, we made it happen. And the pharmacy guy gave me the drugs. I ended up taking care of her that night. And then another girl, she had a panic attack while she was abroad. She had a real bad panic attack. Real bad. And again, I was there just kind of helping her and stuff like that. And you know what it is? It's like, sometimes I will say this. You're going to go through stuff when you go abroad. You know what I mean? Like, you may think you're ready for the trip, but sometimes if you know you have some issues, you should kind of take care of them before you go abroad. Because I will say that as a disclaimer, being abroad will really heighten those issues more. If you know you have anxiety, you're naturally an anxious person, try to get that handled before you move abroad. Because once you move abroad, they were just really fortunate that I actually, because I was older, I had that kind of perception where it's like, I don't want to leave them by themselves. All the other girls were into partying and stuff, and that's nothing wrong with that. But they wasn't into like, oh, I'm going to take care of my friend. You know what I mean? They were just thinking about, oh, we're going to have fun. But because I think, I'll be honest with y'all, I just say this to say that, like, some people are not going to have your best interest when you're traveling with others that don't really know you that well. So what I will say is that make sure you take care of yourself first off before you make sure you have all your ducks in a row before you move abroad or before you travel abroad. Because I've heard so many experiences where people travel with friends or people that they thought would be there for them, and those people ghost. Nowhere to be found. Nowhere. And I felt so bad for both of them, but that's why I'm happy that I was there to at least, be there for them, and they really appreciated it. And I'll never forget. She still talks about it till this. She's like, oh yeah, remember when you helped me when I was sick? Like, the girl was vomiting, like throwing up sick. And she was alone. Her roommate left her. They didn't even check on her, nothing. Her roommate never even showed up. Her roommate was out, gone. And it was sad to see. But again, that happens. That happens a lot. A lot of people abroad are very selfish. I'll be honest with you. They just want, like, it's sometimes the friendship is just for them to have a friend or to have a partner. But as soon as they find new friends, they're going to abandon you and you're going to be on your own. So you got to get used to, one, being on your own, and two, make sure that your mental health or your physical health you're in good condition. Again, she got sick. She didn't expect to get sick. So I couldn't blame her for that or fault her for that. But the other one, she had an anxiety attack, like really bad. And I know that she had dealt with some issues with anxiety. And I think that she probably thought that she could handle it, and she couldn't. And thank God that, we were like, me and the professor were there to kind of help her through it. But yeah, make sure you get all that settled before you go abroad, especially when you're traveling for an extended amount of time. Please make sure y'all handle that. Anyway, and we visited everywhere. So I'm gonna show y'all pictures of when I was in Korea, and then I'll get to China. China was a time. China was an experience. I'll just say that. So this was Korea. Hold on, I'm gonna flip my camera. Oh no, can you see this picture? It's kind of blurry, but This was me when I was in front of I forgot which place that was. I don't remember, y'all. I don't remember. Some temple or some place, some Hanok. I don't recall. Okay. And then, oh, this is all China. My bad, y'all. Hold on. I'm supposed to bring up Korea. Where was Korea? That was it? Okay. And then here, I took a picture on the street because I turned 30. And I thought this was only fitting for me because I was 30 years old and I turned 30. I thought I was so cute. And also, I'm trying to think of other things that happened. Oh, we went to the DMZ. That was such a kind of like, it was an experience. Let's just put it that way. You know, we went to the DMZ and the tour bus took us there. And then we went to museums. We went to so many different places as a class. But I would say the nightlife was lit at that time. I don't know about now since COVID, but I just remember like in the daytime we were studious. At night we were everywhere. We was everywhere, y'all. Everywhere and in everything. Did you get to go to the JSA place with the 2 buildings? Yep, I did. I have video. Let me see if I could grab the video right now. We even were able to go to the train station where you could see, well, we went to the place with the UN, the UN section where they had the guards. And then after that, I forgot what it's called, the peace area. Y'all, I'll be forgetting names. And we even saw the North Korean soldiers while we were standing, and they told us don't make any faces. If you don't make any faces because it could be seen as signs of aggression. Like, it was very serious. Like, we couldn't even move our hands and make certain gestures. We couldn't go there because they shut it down for tours after the dude ran over. Oh, you was there that year that dude ran. Yeah, I remember. If you guys don't know the story, there was a soldier in North Korea. He literally drove. And then he drove his truck. He made an escape. He was a young North Korean soldier. And then he got off the truck. They were shooting bullets at him from North Korea. And then he ran, and then South Korea grabbed him. And that was like a few years ago. But yeah, after that incident, they did shut down. We went there though. They did shut down that area, but we went there. We were able to go inside of the, I forgot what it's called, the UN. I'm gonna see if I could get the name. Y'all, I'm so bad with names. I went this year, but I was talking about the American military. Oh, you talking about Otto, the one who took the poster? Oh, no. You talking about the other one. There was a black one too. There's so many of them that crossed. No, Otto went on a trip to North Korea and then he took the poster. The black guy, the black American soldier did cross into North Korea too. He ran across. Which one? Which soldier? There's so many of them, little mama. You got to describe which one. The black guy, yeah. Okay, it wasn't Otto. It was the black guy. Yeah, the black soldier. That was like a year or so ago. Y'all, there's so many people who run back and forth through North Korea. It's actually super dangerous to do that. But they, you know, when you're trying to when you're trying to save your life, and you'll do anything, you know, to escape, right? So let me see if I can find the name of that place. But anywho, I went there. And it was an experience. We saw this North Korean guards, and then also, there was something. Oh yeah, my professor. You see, this is where white privilege. Let me tell y'all, my white folks, y'all gotta be careful. Y'all can't be doing that stuff in other countries. Let me tell you what he did. So we went to inside of the UN, the houses. Let me see if I could find it so you guys can see. I don't know why I can't find pictures. Like, I don't know why I can't find pictures in my album about this part, because I did take pictures, but I'm gonna try to see if I can find it in my other album, my other photo album. But anyways, we went here, this area, and they looked just like that. The soldiers looked literally just like this, and they were standing there. And we went into these houses here, and then you can see the North Korean guard. He was like right there, and we weren't allowed to take pictures because they wouldn't allow us to take pictures of North Korea. But anywho, we went in them houses, right? And so if you guys don't know, you have to get an American escort, an American military escort to go to that place, right? So there's a whole security clearance, and Korean citizens cannot go there, only foreign nationals. So that was another thing. So we ended up going in them little houses. Y'all, this is what happens with white privilege, y'all. Why my professor went and tried to, because there's a door, right? And the soldier explicitly said, do not open the door. He said, y'all gonna go in there, y'all just gonna walk in, look around, head out. You just make a little circle. Do not open the door there. You want to know what my professor did? He tried to open the door. So he was taking a picture, trying to open the door. He goes, sir, get back. I was like, yo, I was done. He was like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know. I was like, you know you heard him. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. He's like, get back, sir. Get back. Like, y'all, it was like, we were all scared, like, oh, shit. And then he just said, I told you guys not to open the door. Da, da, da. I was like, oh, shit. And he's like, oh, sorry, my fault. He just could not. Girl, that's what I'm telling you, the privilege of it all. I looked at him. I was like, you know damn well, because I heard him. He literally said on the bus. He said it on the bus, and he said it when we were in there, before we got in. 2 things he said. He said, do not make gestures at the North Korean soldiers, and don't touch anything in there. They really think they are saying, girl, this man, so he cooling on me, and we ended up being real cool. But, like, we kept in touch with each other for a long time, too. But it's just the fact that he had to touch the door. I'm like, sir, you're supposed to be our professor. So anyway, that whole thing happened. I was cracking up. And then we ended up going to the train station. I have video of that. I'm gonna show you guys. Let me see if I can show y'all the video. Hold on. Let me see if I can show y'all the video. But anywho, you'll get, like, I won't show everything because it's let me see if I can go into my, hold on. It's loading. I'm gonna show y'all a little bit about what we saw so you can see my experience. Oh, we did the train, and then I got the North Korean stamp because I didn't want to get it on my passport, because you could get it on your passport, and I was like, hell no, I ain't trying to have that on my passport. What the hell? And then after I'm gonna talk about that tunnel. I went through that tunnel, little mama. I got down because the infiltration tunnel is where North Korean spies would go into South Korea. So they actually dug up a whole tunnel. Y'all, North Korea and South Korea, like, I think at that time, especially when I went in 2017, that's when KJ was dropping missiles and threatening to drop missiles, and he was being very extra that year. And I really learned that there was a lot of tension between North and South Korea. Like, it's a lot. So even if you go back in time, like, they used to, like, I remember they, like, you know, did stuff to planes. They would do tunnels. Good afternoon. Hey, CFT, welcome. My heart was beating a million miles coming up that slope. That was a workout. Now, I didn't even go down, little mama. I went in that tunnel. I went on an incline. Like, as soon as we started going down, I freaked out. And then I went to the other side and I went back up. I couldn't go down. I did not go down the whole way. It was too narrow. It's so, this is the thing. It's underground. It's very narrow. And it's so, and there's slopes and stuff. So I started freaking out. Like, I literally freaked out. Everyone else went all the way to the end. I literally was like, I can't. So I went down a little bit. And then as soon as I saw it was getting narrower and narrower, I was like, oh, hell no. And then I went the other way and I just went out, and I couldn't breathe. It was so bad. Like, I honestly couldn't breathe. The actual tunnel that I was in, Bedrock, is, girl, you braver than me. Lil mama, you a brave soul. You're a brave soul. All right, hold on. I'm going to show y'all a little bit of, I know I don't have I'm going to show y'all the video a little bit. So this is where all of the ribbons are put for families who are missing their North Korean family members, or family members that were left in North Korea for the war. Yep, you can see all that stuff. So these are, that's why I couldn't go to that hole. You can see all of this. Yep, all of this, the ribbons and stuff. I'm not going to show the whole thing. I'm just going to fast forward. This was our tour guide. This was my classmate right there. Okay, I'm going to fast forward. Oh, no, that wasn't my classmate. That was a tourist. Sorry, that wasn't my classmate. And then here, this is where we went to North Korea. This is North Korea, y'all. That's North Korea right here. This is North Korea. And then we went on the bus. And then she was just giving us a tour. And then this is the train station. Y'all could hear my voice. Hold on. Let me go back. Y'all could hear my voice here. Hold on, let's fast forward.
to pay 1,000. Yeah. That's why I'm saying.
It's okay. So this is where they were supposed to have North Koreans and South Koreans unite, like to go into each other.
It shouldn't be.
Why does man all up in my video?
Happen. Oh, yeah. Commemoration stand.
There's a train station that they were supposed to build between North and South Korea that they never got to build. I mean, they never got to use. And then this was where you could see like the train, and then you could get the passport stamp and whatnot. And then we was on the bus. That was the bus we used, blah, blah, blah. That was it. Okay, so then we did that. That was probably one of the most, like, I would say for me, that was the best, the best trip that the best excursion that we went on was the DMZ. I think I really got a feel for how hard it was during the war. It was such a heartfelt moment, like just seeing how these families miss each other. And you felt sad during that because I felt so bad for those people. Yeah, I did too, girl. I was sad. And you heard me talking to her. Like, I actually talked to the tour guide a lot, tried to get some more information. It was very sad. And I don't know if many of you know, but Dom's grandpa was stuck in North, like when the war happened. Oh, hi, Pauline. Unable to show up. That's okay. At least you showed up. Hey, Pauline. And when there was some influence YouTubers there just laughing and treating it like a joke. Yeah, it's not a joke, y'all. It's not a joke at all. Dom's, when the country went into war, Dom's grandfather was sent to fight. And so what happened was that he got his family, so his grandma and, wait, was it Dom's grandfather? Yeah, I believe it was Dom's grandfather, either Dom's grandfather or Dom's great-grandfather. They were sent to war, and then Dom's great-grandfather. They were sent to war, and then his grandmother and her sibling, he sent them to Busan, because at the time, when you were a soldier, you were able to send your family to be safe in Busan, because the war was in Seoul. Like, they were going all the way down to Seoul, and they were trying to take over the whole country. So Busan was the safest. So his grandmother ended up going to Busan, and then they never saw him again. Never saw him again. So they don't even know if he's dead. They don't know where his remains are, nothing. So when people make jokes about North Korea and South Korea, I just don't find it funny, because I'm like, yo, like, there are people who are literally still suffering. They can't see their family members. They lost their grandparents, great-grandparents. They weren't able to go back and see them. So it's just very sad. Yes, thinking about those families being separated got me thinking about slavery and how families were separated. It's sad. I was just about to bring that up. Nothing about war is funny to me, so I don't know why people make jokes and stuff about it. I just don't find that funny. Like, even black, dark humor or whatever, I don't find it funny at all. But anywho, I was just saying that, like, yeah, you'll if you go to the DMZ, you will have feelings. Like, you'll get sentimental, because you really feel the air is so different there. You can feel the energy is so sad. You start thinking about you being ripped from your family, and about slavery and colonization and, all of those different things. And, you just feel bad for other people, and see how other people were living life while you were living life somewhere else. Other people were struggling in other countries and stuff, right? So yeah, so that was a somber experience, but I'm glad that I went through it. And it really taught me a lot about the just who's affected. Like, most of the families were more affected by the war than anything, right? So, but yeah, I can't talk too much about war, because y'all know YouTube gonna try to censor your girl. So anywho, yeah, so that was a great experience. So all in all, Korea was a great experience. I had such a great time. I met so many people. It was awesome. Now let's get to China. So after my experience in Korea, I went to China, y'all. And China, all right. So I took an airplane. So remember, Korea is different. Korea is more developed. Not saying China is not developed, but Korea is super developed. Like, everything was there, internet, technology. Like, I didn't want for nothing. Like, everything that I needed, I could find it. China was a different animal. So when I went from Seoul to Beijing. But from Seoul to Beijing, I went from Seoul to Qingdao to Beijing. Y'all, I got off at the airport in Qingdao and they were super nice to me. Like, I didn't know what to expect because, again, Korea, I was pleasantly surprised. It was great. It was awesome, amazing experience. And I was worried that China would be the opposite. So I was on guard, and I was like, dang, did I make a mistake by going to China for the next 3 weeks? And mind y'all, by the way, I went shopping a lot in Korea. I literally shopped till I dropped. Once that lady told me that I would get, what she told me, she's like, you get the traveler's discount or whatever, the tax-free because you're a traveler. Y'all, the duty-free, that's what it was. I shopped till I dropped. When I tell y'all, I bought so many face masks, so many skin products. I bought clothes. I bought so many things in Korea. By the time I got to China, I was bizzrizzle. I was brokety broke. I think I had only had like $600 to my name. That was when Romy was bad with financial management because I spent so much money. I spent over $1,000. Girl, it is so easy to spend money over there. And mind you, I spent so much money. My money went everywhere. It went to Innisfree. It went to Face Shop. It went to the one Etude House. It went everywhere. I was always in Hongdae because Hongdae has like the shopping district, and I went to the Gangnam Underground Terminal. That's where I was. That's where I lived. Those are the 2 places you could find your girl. I was there and the clothes were so cheap, so I kept buying things. And also I got this piercing. Oh, by the way, guys, you didn't know, I got this piercing in Korea. I got this piercing in South Korea. So I forgot to mention that. I decided to get something to remember Korea because remember, I didn't think I was going to go back. So I was like, oh, I'm just going to go to China, right? The subway shops, girl, I went to Iwa. We went to the Iwa Yode Street. Mind you, I didn't even know I was going to be in Iwa years later. That's how crazy God is, right? Like, I really thought that was it that summer. Like, oh, that's it. I'm not going back. So I decided to do something different. And I was like, okay, I want to get a piercing. But I didn't know where I wanted to get a piercing. So I decided my ears. So if y'all can see here, I have 2 holes. But actually, it was 3. So I got 3 piercings in Hongdae. I got it in Hongdae. I went to this piercing shop. And I was like, hey, I want to get a piercing. They're like, all right, cool. And they was like, have you gotten a piercing before? I was like, not here. He's like, all right, it's going to hurt a little bit. I was like, all right, cool. So he's like, what style do you want? And I said, I want 3. And then he did. So I have 2 holes, 1 closed. But I got this in Korea. Yeah, so I had like the 3 studs or whatever. Anyways, it was a good experience. I had such a great time. So then when I got to China, I was brokey broke. So I went to Qingdao station. So how it worked was that I was going to get to the airport in Qingdao. Then I had to take a train to go to Beijing. I was crazy, guys. I don't know what I was thinking. So anyways, I took a flight, got to Qingdao. The airport employees were so lovely. They're like, oh my God, it's your first time in China. Welcome to China. The guys lifted my bags. I was like, okay, y'all giving the girl the princess treatment. All right. I got to the train station. It was chaotic. Chaos. Cars everywhere. People everywhere. I was like, oh, okay. I thought I lost my phone because I was like, oh my God, where's my phone? Where's my phone? I was scared because I was like, I need my phone, right? So guys, how about the people were looking at me? Because mind you, they're staring at me while all this activity is going around. People looking at me, studying me. And so I was like this, and they're like, do you need something? One guy, he came up to me, he's like, you need something? I was like, yes, my phone. He's like, look for her phone. Everybody around was starting to look around. This old lady was looking. She's like, oh, where is it? And then I was like, oh, it was in my pocket, y'all. I'm so stupid. And then I was like, oh, I have it. They're like, yay. So then I went. When I tell you, I was just, I don't know what I was thinking. But anyways, I had my phone. I was like, I found it. Like, I don't won the lottery or something. They're like, yay. Anyway, so then these guys came. Now, this is where you're going to get scammed. These men came trying to help me. Talking about, you need help. You need help to get to the train. I was like, yes. So they took my bags. I'm thinking they all being helpful. Then he gonna go like this. I said, well, I thought this was for free. He's like, I was like, oh, damn, you one of them, ain't it? That happened to me in Haiti, too. They was helping me take my bags. And after that, there's like, I was like, so I remember I don't have money. So then I was like, all right, I'm going to pay you. How much I got to pay this guy? So then I was scared to take all my money out because I'm like, dang, like, you know, you don't want to take all your money out and then give them a little bit. So I just was like this in my pocket. And I was like, I'm gonna see how much I got. And then I gave him his change, and then he took me to the train station, no problem. So I took a train. The train was very nice. Very clean, very nice. People were very nice. Had no issues. Then I got to Beijing and I stayed at a hostel. That was a whole different experience. Remember, in Korea, I was at a hotel. I was in my own room. Oh, by the way, Korea had hard water. My hair was struggling while I was in Korea. Thank God that I had some apple cider vinegar. I got it from the grocery store, and then I started like doing that, and that's what cleaned my hair. But honestly, Korea had some hard water, so my hair was going through it in Korea. I forgot to mention that. But anywho, let's get to China. So hostel. Remember, I was at a hotel in Korea. In China, I'm at a hostel. It was a whole nother experience. And you see, it messed your skin up. It messed me up too for a little bit, but then I got my pH back up with the apple cider vinegar in the water. Bring a filter, 100%. I'm telling y'all, that thing messed up my hair for weeks. So yeah, so then I was at a hostel. I came at night. Remember, I done came at night. I had to take a taxi. The guy, I think I had told y'all, the guy, he was, I don't know, I don't remember. He was a little flirty or whatever, but, and they can smoke in the taxis. I didn't know that. So that was an issue. So anyways, he took me to my hostel. So I ended up staying at the hostel. Hostel was nice. It wasn't bad. It was in the middle of Beijing. And then I stayed in a mixed dormitory. I shouldn't have done that. I really wish that I had stayed in an all-female dormitory. At the time, I thought I could handle it. But y'all, these men be smelling like feet sometimes. Like, I don't know. I'm not into the all mixed dormitory anymore. I think at that time, that was the first and last time I would stay in a mixed dormitory, because we were with Europeans and different people. And listen, I'm not trying to say stuff, but what I will say, some people are a little bit more, are better with being clean than others. I'll just say that. So anyway, we ended up, I would just say they was a little musty. The men was they was a little strong, but they was nice. They were nice. So anyways, I stayed in a hostel, and that's when I realized that China doesn't have Google, that China doesn't have anything. And I had to download WeChat, which I did ahead of time. But then it really hit me while I was at the hostel, because I had to get my family to download WeChat in order to contact me. Like, everything was blocked, y'all. Everything was blocked. Kakao blocked, WhatsApp blocked, everything was blocked. I couldn't even go on websites, nothing. So what happened was my sister would have to transfer my money from my checking account to my credit card, because I was using a prepaid a credit card. She had to do all that for me, because I couldn't access any of those websites. So that's the number one thing I would say, is if you go to China, I know some people use VPNs, but at the time I didn't have a VPN, and yeah, like, I had to use WeChat, and my sister had to literally transfer the money for me. That's the only way I could contact my family. Another thing was that China was a bit polluted. I will say that. It was very polluted. I'm gonna show y'all pictures. Other than that, though, I met two girls while I was in the hostel. One of them, she came to my wedding last year. We were friends all throughout our time in Korea. We kind of fell apart a little bit now because I'm in Canada, but while we were in Korea, we were really good friends. I met her in the bathroom of the hostel, and then I remember I was trying to go solo traveling. I was solo traveling at that point in time. I didn't know anybody in China, and somehow I met her in the bathroom, and we went out a few times. And then I met another girl, Allie. We actually hung out a few times too. So if you go solo traveling, actually, you're gonna meet people. I really thought I was gonna be by myself, but actually I wasn't. I actually ended up meeting really cool people. And also, another thing I will say is that make sure you have money, y'all, because I really overestimated the fact that I didn't think I would spend that much money in Korea. So when I got to China, I couldn't really do much. And also the food, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, the food in Beijing was not hitting. It wasn't hitting. Not like Korea. I felt like Korea had more of a variety of foods. In China, it was different, y'all. Like, the food wasn't, first of all, the Chinese food is not the same as what we're used to in the Western world, which I knew. But I was not ready for the disparity. Like, it's completely different. And most of the food outside was like you could see it was very oily and greasy, and I knew that my stomach couldn't handle it. So I did not buy any outside food. I ended up just going to 7-Eleven and buying like those little small bowls of rice and buying like little, you know, little food like they have at 7-Eleven, like the meatballs and stuff like that, and the chicken. That's literally what I ate. I did not eat Chinese cuisine in Beijing because I tried it once. The food was not really that good, and like, you could see the grease in it. Like, it wasn't that good. I'm sorry if I have people from Beijing in my chat. I'm sorry to tell y'all, but the food wasn't slapping. It was not that. It wasn't like Korea. I'll just say that. I didn't even touch the street food because the street food just looked like it was out for a long time. I knew I was gonna get some gastrointestinal issues, so I was like, nah, I'm not touching that. Other than that, I would say that I had a lovely time. Other than that, I would say just the food. You could notice the environment was different. I felt like in Korea, it was more like livelier, if I could say. Because, you know, after work, a lot of people go drinking and you just see the streets are alive. But in China, it was a little subtle. It was a little different. They do too, but it was just a little different. They were friendly, very friendly, but there was just too much people, y'all. It was too much. Every time I took the subway, it was like, y'all think y'all have rush hour? It's worse. It's obviously there's millions of people there. Like, it's like, it was just like, I don't know. It was like something I've never, you can't even describe how crazy it is. Like, China is busy, like all the time. Everywhere you go, there's always somebody within proximity of you. And of course, I knew that. I know that they had, at that time, they were the largest country in the world. However, it still was not something that I was like, it didn't compute in my head until I went there, how different it is. I'm gonna show y'all some pictures though, because I gotta leave soon. Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on with my sinuses. Okay, here. Y'all see that pollution? So I was trying to tell y'all, I wasn't joking. This was here. This was Beijing in 2016. Yep. That's how it was. That's how it looked. So the whole time I was there, this is what it looked like. This was me. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull this up. Why is this picture's not going? Ooh. Okay. Hold on a second. Hold on. I'm going to save the best for last. This was me. Yeah. Y'all see the pollution. This was me in front of a temple. It was very sweet. Very cute. Y'all see, I told you I had my natural hair out. And then this was me. Oh, at Tiananmen Square. With my little Chinese flag right there. Why I look so scared? I look so scared. Y'all see them people there? Those are the people that swarmed me after. Those people right there. All the tour buses, all the tourists here. They came for your girl afterwards. Once they saw me taking pictures with other folks. What else? Let me see what other pictures I have of China. Hold on. Okay, this is my favorite here. Look at this man right here. Y'all see me looking all cute. I'm trying to take my look at this man right here. Hold on, I'm gonna zoom into him. Look at how he look at that. Smiling. Look at these folks right here. They was all staring at me. That man was my admirer. That man was cheesing, boy. Oh boy, that was a time. Hold on a second. Let me see if I have other pictures. Wait, I had other pictures. Where did they go? Hold on. Yeah, this was Tiananmen Square here from the view. You see, it was always overcast. It was always overcast, and it was summer, and it was just, to be honest with y'all, I'm not gonna lie. I made the most of my experience, but the weather, it was hot, polluted, and you literally were itchy. Like, I literally, whenever I came from outside, I had to take a shower because it was so itchy. And that was because of the pollution. Were the people welcoming, or did you feel like an outsider? No, they were welcoming. They were absolutely welcoming. I felt like an outsider only. Not an outsider, but I felt different, obviously, because they were staring at me and taking pictures of me. But it was in a nice way. So it's like, I know some people don't like it because they're like, oh, I feel like a spectacle. But actually, I didn't get that vibe from them. It was like mostly people just coming to me. One lady came, this old lady, this grandma came to me, bless her soul. But she was just rubbing up on me. I'm like, lady, like, ma'am, you need to move your hands. Like, But it was more so them never seeing a black person before. And they saw me and it was like, boo, 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 taking pictures with me. But I never felt anything hostile from them, to be quite honest with you. Another thing is in China, there are checkpoints everywhere. Everywhere you go, there are checkpoints. So you gonna have to like put your stuff like in the conveyor belt. They check, their security is top tier. Anytime you go to a train station, checkpoint. Every time you go to any type of like, even in the like, as soon as you get in the subway, you have to put your things through the conveyor belt like an airport. They don't play. Water bottles, everything, they check everything. Before I even got to Tiananmen Square, I had to take my purse out. I had to take everything out. They had to check my ID before I even got there. Like, they are on security. Their security is top tier. And then there are men with guns everywhere. Everywhere I saw military men with guns. It was something I had to get used to because I had never seen that before. So that was a little different for me. It was very different from Korea. And what else? It was just a different vibe. You could tell that they work very hard. I'm not saying Koreans don't. Koreans work very hard too. But in China, you could tell they was working. They was working. You could see it. Like, you felt the work ethic was up there. My biggest regret in China, I didn't get to go to the Great Wall. I missed my opportunity. And that was because of me. The way the girl that I met, the French girl, me and her was supposed to go together. I was supposed to go with her and her friend, but I decided to opt out because they didn't want to take the tour bus. They wanted to go the local route. And I just felt like it was too dangerous. Because I was like, what if we get stuck? We don't speak Chinese that well. What if someone robs us? Like, I was very, very like scared and risk averse. So I didn't go. And they ended up having a great time. And I didn't go. And that was one of my biggest regrets is how you go to China, you don't go to the Great Wall. Like, how you go to Beijing, you didn't go to the Great Wall. Like, that is the biggest regret I've ever had in my life. And I'm going to go back. I will go back and go to the Great Wall. That's one of my missions in life, is to go back and go to the Great Wall, because I literally, like, yeah, that was my biggest regret. But all in all, China was a great experience. Like, all I did was I just went to the Temple of Heaven. We went to some Queen's Temple. I don't know. We went to so many places. And then people took pictures of me everywhere. Met some lovely people. I'm sure I'm in somebody's photo albums, so many people's photo albums. But all in all, I would say as a solo traveler, especially as a Black woman, I had my natural hair. No wigs, no weaves, no nails, no nothing. I was as natural as I can be. And they still showed your girl love. I'll be honest with y'all. I didn't have no experience. Like, even in Korea, I didn't have any negative experiences as far as, like, except for that professor that tried me. Other than her, I would say most of my experiences in Korea have been positive. Most of my experiences when I went to China and traveled, positive. I didn't have any issues. I didn't have people staring at me all dirty. I didn't have people not wanting to sit next to me on the train. Matter of fact, I was hoping they wouldn't sit next to me on the train because I didn't want people around me. But people just love to be around your girl for some reason. So yeah, they were, I didn't have any issues with people not wanting to talk to me. If anything, people were very welcoming, very curious, wanting to know where I was from, just talking to me. And I think that, and again, I'm not trying to negate other people's experiences because everybody has a different experience. So my experience might have been great. Mind you, this was in 2016. I don't know how different things are now since post-COVID. But what I will say is that you have to experience it for yourself. However, I will be honest, if I hear negative reviews from one country and a lot of people, like let's say 80% of the Black travelers that have been there have had negative reviews, then I would take heed to it. But if you go to a country like China or like Korea or some other country where Black people are living there and they're telling you like, hey, like it's okay, like you can live there, you can survive there, and you pretty much the experiences are a mixed bag, I would probably trust it more. For example, I know a lot of people who would never go to Italy because they, like, every single Black person or a lot of Black people that have been to Italy, especially in Rome, have said that they've had a horrible experience. So I'm going to take heed to that because I know not everybody lying now, but at the same time, there are some places where you will feel more welcome than in your home country. I'm just keeping it real. So it's all about just perception. And if you want to travel somewhere, I always go by, one, seeing people's experiences, but also trying to see if it's somewhere where I would, like, for me personally, I have zero tolerance for racism. So if I go to a country and people giving me dirty looks and want to spit on me, I probably will get arrested. I'm being honest. I have zero tolerance for that kind of stuff. So I would probably not go to a country where I know that people are going to look down on me and do that kind of weird stuff. But then in Asia, I just felt like it was different. It wasn't, I really honestly had no negative experiences, especially while I was traveling through Korea and China in that year. Nothing. And again, I was a, solo woman by myself, especially in China. In Korea, I was with a group of people. But in China, I was by myself most of the time I was on my own, and I had a great experience. So yeah, that's my tip for 2025. If y'all want to go to Asia, especially to China or to Korea, go. You're not going to have an issue. And if you do, sometimes it does happen, but it's not going to be what you think it's going to be. Let's just put it that way. You ain't got to worry about, people like beating you up or spitting on you. The most people are gonna do probably is look at you, and that's it. Like, you're not gonna get that much. Like, they ain't gonna do none of that stuff. Now, I can't promise for other countries, because I know some other countries, they get a bit violent, so that's a little different. But anywho, that's my experience. I hope you guys enjoyed me telling you guys this. Do you have preference for either China or Korea? Korea, 100%. CFT Korea all the way. But to be fair, I didn't get a chance to go to different regions in China, but just based off of, if I were to compare Seoul and Beijing, Seoul hands down, 100%. I'm more comfortable being in Seoul than in China. Only because it's a Western, it has more like things that I'm very comfortable with, and meaning that like I don't have to worry about, I don't have to worry about internet. I have access to the internet, banking, everything is quick, fast, easy, no problem. China is a little different. So if you're traveling, it's not a problem. But I heard living there, like even transferring money from one account to another is a hassle. And even going on the internet, it's a hassle. It's like, it's just too much steps to take to do simple things. Whereas Korea, everything is accessible to you and you're not going to have a problem. Literally everything's in English and Korean. Like, you will not have a problem getting and surviving in Korea at all, even as a tourist. Like, it's super easy for people to follow. Anyone can be a tourist there. I want to go again next year, hopefully. And if the political situation levels out, yeah, let's hope that it levels out. It's hard right now. It's tough because, yeah, it's really tough right now. It's a tough situation, especially for people in Korea. I always feel bad for them, especially people teaching, working in Korea, foreigners there. Yeah, it's not easy with the whole political situation. I personally, okay, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I still have a little bit of time, but I'm hoping Dom comes because I gotta be at therapy soon. What I was gonna say is that in 2025, personally speaking, I would probably not travel. That's just my opinion. Again, you're gonna do what's good for you. I would spend 2025 just kind of scoping the scene, because with the things that are going on in the world and the uncertainty, I would probably hold back a little bit. If you're going to travel, I would probably travel to places that have less political instability. Anywhere where there's political instability, there could be a time where they shut borders down or they shut something down. I personally wouldn't take that risk, in my opinion alone. So I would say if you're going to travel somewhere that has less political activity. And like, for example, when I went to Jamaica, I knew that Jamaica was safe. There's no like issues with the government and things of that nature. Yeah, it's going to be California next summer. Exactly. Like, stay local, or if you want to travel, you can travel to countries or places where, there's less instability, or travel within your own country. US and Canada are huge. Like, we have some big countries. Like, we can travel to different regions and get the same experience, right? So I know it's always like everyone wants to go to another place and go somewhere else. I get it. But what I will say is that 2025 is probably not the best time to travel to a lot of countries because there's too much instability politically. I would wait until things kind of level off a little bit, because the block is hot. It's too hot right now, y'all. The block is too hot, meaning that if you go there, if they shut things down, they shut it down. And you ain't gonna be able to leave. And I know sometimes they'll be like, oh, US citizens can escape and Canadians can escape. Look at what happened to Gaza. As soon as that whole thing happened, it was so hard for Canadians to get out, for Americans to get out. Yeah, it's too difficult. If you go to Korea right now and let's say they shut everything down, how you gonna go home? There's probably so many planes you could use to go back home. And most of the time, those are the people they let out first are the diplomats and the people who are already the military diplomats, whoever, the most important people. The regular people, regular folks gotta go last. That's usually how the order goes, right? And also, you gotta make sure that you have enough money. You don't want to be stuck. That's what I'm saying. Like, don't go to a country that has political instability. I would highly not recommend it. Even a little inkling of instability. Europe is out of the question for me. Period. Not right now. It's too hot. Block is too hot right now. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, I love my Americans, but America right now, the block is hot. I gotta wait till after January 20th to see what's going on. I gotta scope the scene a little bit. You know what I mean? There's some countries. Haiti, please. The block been hot. I'm not touching Haiti for a bit. Hey, Romy in chat. I enjoyed your live. You're funny. You had me cackling like a hyena. I gotta go, so I will see you in the next one. Oh, I'll see you in the next one. Thank you, Creative Mind. Oh, I got more stories. These are just little tidbits. LOL, we will keep you posted. Well, I'm gonna get off soon because I gotta go to therapy. Y'all, I'm supposed to be in therapy in 5 minutes. Where is my husband? Dom was supposed to take me to therapy, y'all. Where is he? Romy, you should write a book or make a movie with your life journey. Oh, yeah. That'll have to be... Woo. I have a lot of chapters in my life. If I make a movie, y'all, it's gonna be, I'm just giving y'all the highlights, like I said, because some stuff you don't remember, right? So I gotta just be like, oh, do I remember things? Do I remember that? And keep stories coming. We love them. Oh, y'all love the stories? Oh, I gotta talk about my hagwon experience because y'all only know about, when I was working in Korea, you only knew about one hagwon. I didn't even touch upon all the other hagwons I worked. Okay, I have a story time reserved for that. And reserved for friendships in Korea. And reserved for crazy situations I got myself into, y'all. But anyway, on that note, what I will say is just, yeah, stay safe for 2025. Tomorrow's my last LiveMas, but I will touch base with you guys. And yeah, if you want to travel, make sure you go somewhere where there's not a lot of political instability, I should say. And I would highly recommend just laying low for 2025, get your money up, and then travel when things get a little bit more stable. Because right now, it's not looking good out there. So I personally would hold off just a little bit to see, you know, make sure the coast is clear before you go somewhere. But anywho, I love talking to you guys too. I can't wait to go live tomorrow. I have to head out now. I have 5 minutes to go. So love you guys as always and see you guys tomorrow. Bye.